Hey guys, it's Spaces Sins, and we are back with more Radiant Tale, and I lost 2 hours recording today. It's the same day, it's Friday. I'm trying to do as much as I can, but that's only because I dyed my hair, which I was going to do today anyway, and I was like, I'm not going to let the fact that the post office didn't deliver my game and put me hours behind on Thursday stop me from dyeing my hair, so, you know. I lost 2 hours dyeing it, waiting for it, and taking a shower, and then, like, looking at it in the mirror. So, like, I could have recorded 2 other parts, but here we are. But whatever. You know what? Listen. The post office messed up my plans, so I could have sacrificed dyeing my hair to catch up or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. I might just record extra parts tonight than I would normally do. Technically on Fridays, I usually, like, sometimes I might record a part or two, but I usually don't. But it's Friday night, and we're going to go, this current Spacey's going to do what previous Spacey years ago used to do and be like, it's Friday night, I'm going to sit here for 5 hours and record. That's how we used to get shit done. And current Spacey is like, I'm so tired sometimes that, like, I don't, but, like, it's Ginia, so I might want to actually try to get this whole fucking route done tonight, because, like, I don't know if I'll have time to do anything on Saturday, because, like, Saturday is my Sims recording day, and Sunday, even though I normally do stuff on Sunday, I'm sorry, but Sunday now is taken up with watching the Neon Cave stream Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so... Rebirth is the second one, right? I don't know the titles, but, like, the second one. The second remake. Finally. I've been waiting forever. So now that Clay's doing it, like, finally playing that game, I'm like, as Sunday, this is what I do from now on. I was so disappointed last Sunday because I didn't know what was happening. And I was 45 minutes late, and I'm like, no, my life is over. I've been waiting since that game came out. I was so psyched. Because I'm not getting a PS5. I would also suck at playing the game, although I've debated. I'm like, But, like, I'm not gonna get a PS5. Spend that much money just to play the game, so I enjoy watching. It's sad because, like, I started watching it in 2020 when the original game came out and they started playing it. And there was 3 of them. And now there's 1. And it's just so depressing when you think about it. You're like, why does everybody change? I'm sorry, I know I'm changing on you guys too, but I get it. No, I'm trying to change for the better, like giving you more shit. Like, anyway, so Sunday is taken up with that. Because I won't be able to watch the following Sunday, because I will be traveling home, because my mom's coming on Monday. I can't record on Monday, because I'll be working, and my mom will be here, and I'm not going to try to record this when my mom's here. That's weird. And then my mom will be here Tuesday, and then we'll go to my sister's house for 4th of July, so... You know what I mean? So, I can't record for over a fucking week. So, this is really bad timing for everything. And honestly, I wasn't even going to do that. But then it's like, now I'm going to. And it's like, I need the days off work. So, like, fuck it. And then I went, oh, shit, what about my recording? And then the game was... Anyway, let's jump into it. We are supposed to go to see Leon now. So, we're perfectly poised right here. So, let's go check him out. Oh, God. Armed with the mission of delivering a package to a certain shop on the main street, I left the castle to have lunch while I was at it and returned to Lieber. Thanks for the food, Spiria, Rady. Lunch today was as fabulous as always. I'm glad you like it. Well, you should have told us you were going to come back at noon. Yeah, what he said. If we knew, we could have prepared something instead of giving you what was left over from our lunch hours. Sorry about that. I had some sudden business in town this afternoon due to work. Was that? Is Ginny on the run again, and you're out here to chase him down? Nah, not quite. It's actually for the upcoming... Hello! It's probably not how he sounds saying that, but it was fun anyway. Hello! Yes, Leon is Mrs. Doubtfire. The sound of the chime rang out as a shadow burst in. I knit my brows. Huh, Leon. I believe lunch hours are already over. Oh, don't be so cold. I heard you were here for once, so I came to visit you. I barely ever get to see you now that you work at the castle, so let me replenish my spacey levels. Please! You know, when he asks so nicely like this, why would we say no? He's charming. I've never heard of such a thing. You might have better luck elsewhere. She's so mean. She's so cold to him. Isn't this how he treated Impy? He really is the purple-haired Impy. Cheeky like always, Leon tried to sit at the table. I waved him off, but Spiria interrupted us, a wry smile on her face. I love how he's just trying to win us over. It's adorable. Come on, don't treat him like a pest. Leon's even been paying his bills properly. Wait, really? He hasn't put them on his tab. Even if I accumulate a tab, only Rady comes to collect my debt nowadays. There's no point, so... Oi! What did you just say? Old of you to think you can get away with spouting such nonsense. In the corner of my eye, I spotted Rady glaring daggers at Leon. I shrugged. Well, if Spiria's fine with him, I guess he can have some tea before he goes. We got our hands full preparing for dinner, so we can't entertain you with anything grand. Feel free to stay, though. You're the best, Spiria. I knew I could count on you. In that case, could I have your drink of the day? Gotcha. I'll make super extra bitter tea, so prepare yourself. Without a shred of reservation, Leon plopped down across from me. Oh, that reminds me. I smacked my fist against my palm as if I'd had an epiphany. My documents and other materials spread out in front of me. I wonder if the first time, like when you go to map and you do, instead of going to Ginia, if you go to Leon, right, you do Liber, if this happens. You know what I mean? I didn't think of that. Like, that's possible. I don't know. We never went back and forth and tried different things in the other game. I can't remember. Leon, do you have a moment? Oh, what's this? Are you asking me on a date? My answer is an enthusiastic yes, of course. No. It's about the ceremony commemorating the prince's recovery that'll be held soon. Wouldn't it just be funny if he's like, oh, you want to ask me out on a date? I'd be happy to go. And you're like, actually, yes. And he'd be like, wait, what? You know he wasn't expecting you to say yes. Deep in his heart he hoped, but he wasn't expecting. Notices about it should start appearing in the plaza any time now. I gave him a brief summary of the program. Rady and Leon traded glances. Like, when he's serious, look how beautiful that man is. Apparently, it's going to be a national event, so the castle's really busy right now. Though it's not finalized yet. I might be in charge of coordinating the merchant stalls on the day of the ceremony. I see. Well, you've worked at a restaurant after all, Spacey. You were also something like a manager for circus, so you'd be the perfect candidate for the job. I have some connections through Liber, but you've done a lot more. Oh, but you have a lot more, don't you? I thought it'd be nice if you could help act as a go-between for the shops involved. Yeah, of course. Ask me anything. Whether you ask me to jump into fire, water, or right into your bed, I'm willing to go anywhere for your sake. Or right into your bed. Sir? Okay. Not now. Not into bed, thanks. I glanced at Leon, frowning, before spreading out the documents that outlined the ceremony and pointed. If I end up being the person responsible, there will apparently be two main tasks I'll have to deal with. The first is to ask for cooperation from the stores in our theater, like ours for example, and get them to participate. The second is to coordinate the stalls and temporary shops of the merchants coming from outside the city. Even if it didn't fall on my shoulders, someone had to do the job. If that happened, I hope I could introduce Leon to the confirmed coordinator. According to the info here, there seemed to be frequent conflicts between local shops and traveling merchants last time. You mean back during King Vigonia's coronation? I remember that. During the festival, stalls from other cities set up camp in front of the local shops without asking, and there were territory disputes. I see. Well, that's weird, because that's funny. They just set up wherever they want. Like, oh my god, that's not how you run an event. You specifically, like, this is your booth area, this is your area, you guys go here. You know what I mean? And you specifically have, like, booth stall / traffic patterns established. What idiot ran it like? It was Ginia, wasn't it? I'm just kidding. I don't think he's old enough, but here hearing Spiria's input, I stared at the documents and gave it a bit of thought. In that case, how about we reserve the free space in the plaza specially for people from outside the city? It'll prevent conflict, and since they'll all be in one place, it might make things easier. I see. If we use that space, it'll be less of a hassle to manage. I like that idea. Hey, how about we take it a step further and group them up? Group them? Yeah, we can divide the stalls depending on their specialties. For example, one place can be reserved for Orient's merchants, and so on. And that'll make each section unique, and the whole place will feel more cohesive. The buyers would also have an easier time finding the stall they're looking for, wouldn't they? That's brilliant! It really is. My eyes lit up at Leon's idea, and I jotted it down on a notepad. We can even arrange the designs and vibe of each area to match their designated cities, like having a little Orions in one place. People who've never gone there before could get a taste of what the city's like. Yeah, that sounds fun. If visitors are hooked and want to go to the real Orions, then it'd be a good promotion for the future. Alright, we should draw out a map with the sections so that we have an idea of the whole picture and... Who are we now? Oh. Wow. Why leave those two for a second and I come back to find they've hit it off? Well, they do have a lot in common. What? That's ridiculous, Spiria. How can there be any similarities between that frivolous airhead and our girl? I suppose they don't seem like they've got anything in common on the surface. But at their core, they're identical. They're both happiest when other people are smiling. Okay, we're in Ginia's... Well, this is like the quote-unquote common if story route, but still. That personality of hers is probably natural. It's got nothing to do with her upbringing here. Well, I guess. I suppose Leon is kind of like that too. Otherwise, he never could have kept up with us. Could have kept up with his fate protection activities for so long. There's a big but, though. Go on. I'm kind of peeved. I don't want to admit that they're a good match. They look like they're having fun, so I'm not going to be a party pooper. But if he dares to make a weird move, I'll kick him out. Ah, you're overprotective as always. While Spiria and Rady were preparing for the dinner rush in the back, Leon and I continued coming up with one proposal after another. By the time I realized it, several pages of my notebook were crammed full of ideas. Oh, oopsies! We chatted for a pretty long time, huh? I don't want to end things here, but I'm afraid I gotta head back now. You're right. It's so late already. I need to get back to work, too. After glancing at the clock, I snapped my notebook closed. Hey, now that I think about it, this may be the first time I've talked with Leon for so long. I'd always cut our conversation short because he'd either acted too chummy or said something weird. But today Leon had given me lots of advice from the standpoint of a businessman. Perhaps I needed to change my opinion of him a tad. Look, I know, he's a flirty little goofball. Again, that's why he's the red-haired imp. The purple-haired impy. But he's, you know what? I might not have actually enjoyed his character as much if Impy hadn't won me over in Code Realize. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't into him at first, but you had to, at the end, you were like, you know what, though? You do got, and now you have the nostalgia boner for all of Code Realize, and you're like, yeah, no, they were all good. Our found family was great, and he might not have been my favorite character at the time, but you got a special place in your heart for the man, because he's a little nutter butters. And, and he kind of just, pried open that window so that when other characters similar to him came along, you kind of have a little bit of fondness for them. So, Leon isn't my favorite. Okay? I wouldn't trade him, or I wouldn't trade my clown or Ginia for him, okay? And I would pick Alest over Leon, don't get me wrong. But I do still kind of like him, so, Hey, Spacey. When are you available next? I can free up my schedule, so let me know. Leon had a huge, cheerful grin on his face. What was his aim here? He's asking me on a date. He's asking me on a date, but does he want to work more? I feel like if we say he's asking me on a date, that would be kind of maybe pushing us more into his route, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, does he want to work more? Okay. Just asking for confirmation, but you're arranging a meeting to continue our talk now, yeah? Of course. Do I look like a guy who'd use work as an excuse to flirt with a girl? You do. I do love her. You really do. Whoa, hey, your inner thoughts are spilling right out. Anyway, nothing had been confirmed yet, so we decided to delve a little deeper into the topic after a coordinator had been decided on. We ended things here for now. Leon put down his teacup and stood up. Yeah, okay then. Good luck with your work at the castle. Let's go on a date sometime. I ducked skillfully, dodging the kiss he blew my way just before he left. After seeing Leon off, I chugged the rest of my tea in one go. Phew. Thanks for all your hard work, Spacey. It seemed like you guys had a blast. Yeah, I learned some really valuable stuff. We chatted about a lot of things that'll be helpful references. I gotta admit, I'm a bit surprised. I never thought Leon would give so much thought and attention. Then again, he was technically the owner of a national chain, now that I thought about it. Perhaps coming up with tons of ideas on the spot was normal for him. Now, if only he lost his habit of flirting with every woman in the general vicinity, I could respect him a little more. Huh? What? What's wrong? Did I see something weird? Because he doesn't flirt with every woman in the general vicinity, he only flirts with you, but she doesn't realize that. The pair widened their eyes slightly and tilted their heads. I gazed back at them, baffled. Wait, are you under the impression that Leon is some kind of pickup artist? Isn't he? Every time I see him, he says, "You're as pretty as always," or "Won't you go out on a date with me?" That's kind of what people do in Orions, or rather, isn't that how you describe a womanizer? No, that's... Well, yeah, I totally agree. Brady scaled Spiria's arm and hopped onto her head before settling down. He covered Spiria's mouth with his tail and nodded in agreement. He's like, shh. Let her keep the wrong impression. If that's what you think, then that's completely correct. Please don't change. Thanks. Huh? What are you talking about? The way he said that kind of bothered me. But for now, work was more important. Yikes, I lost track of time. After gathering my belongings, I hurriedly headed back out into the main street. Oh, sorry, bird. Jesus Christ. An ass. Oh, right. Woo! Map Castle. Oh, wait, yeah, that's true, because wait. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, never mind. Okay. Yeah, alright. You can't, like, if we did Leon first, or we did... Okay, never mind. That is how it is. You end up doing all of them. Because we're gonna do Alest, and all we have is Calivis left, and then we'll do Calivis next, and, like... Okay. Yeah, alright. So, now I remember. Yay! Glass's boyfriend! After receiving the message that the documents were ready, I paid a visit to Alest's office. Are you there, Alest? It's Spacey. Yes, come in. Please excuse... Me? The moment I stepped into the room, words escaped me. On the table before my eyes were stacks, no, towers of papers. Murmurs trickled out from behind the paper towers. Patrol plans for the security forces approved. Regulation proposal for Mystic Tools approved with conditions. A reform proposal for the Sentinel system. Though it's urgent, we need to hold a reevaluation meeting first. Alest? Right, you're here for the ceremony documents, yes? Take them from the cabinet on the right. Oh, okay. Trade with Passio, I see. I can't make a decision on this one on my own. Sorry, but are you alright? How do you mean? His matter-of-fact reply came without so much as a glance in my direction as he continued working through the documents. His glasses did nothing to hide the redness of his eyes, and from time to time his head swayed unsteadily. You're the very picture of sleep deprivation. Have you been getting enough rest? This is nothing. My schedule is merely packed now that I've got additional duties for the ceremony. If I need something to fall back on, I bought boxes of these in Kalita. What is that beverage? It's a pep-up drink renowned for blasting all thoughts other than work from your mind. So many red flags! His lips curled into a daredevil smile, prompting me to say something. Offer to help with work, offer to make tea. I feel like we should just make tea. There's no way we can do his work. Like, yeah. Ooh. Jingle, jingle, jingle. How about I make you some tea? Tea? But I already have this beverage over here. That thing is a volatile drug in disguise. My rebuttal had a bit of an edge. I then stepped forward to get my point across. There's an herbal tea blend I like to drink whenever I do paperwork. It clears my mind, and I was thinking that it might be helpful for you as well, Alest. An amateur poking her nose into official business might cause trouble, sure. But at the very least, I was an unparalleled expert in hospitality. In that case, I shall have some. Also, because, Ginny is like, are you flirting with my secretary? And he's like, maybe? So, like, he's like, whatever you say. Yes. More than anything, my heart aches when I see your worried face, so I shall accept your goodwill. That's adorable, and I love you so much. Got it. It won't take long. I don't think you got it, though. You're like, okay, cool. And it is like, he's like, my heart aches when your face is worried like that. It's not just like, I just feel bad for making you worry. Normal. The heart aching thing, I don't know. I feel like it's a little too... You better leave the window open for me to imagine romance in this man, is all I'm saying. 10 minutes later, apologies for the wait. Here's my special herb tea. I returned from the kitchen with a teapot full of fresh brew and then poured the steaming liquid into our teacups. Indeed, it has a pleasant fragrance. I shall help myself then. The base of the recipe was rosemary tea, and it was mixed with various other herbs like sylphazel. This was the exact same blend we used for the specialty tea on Lieber's menu. The rising steam carried a refreshing note to our noses, one resembling mint. All the tension eased from Alest's face. This is good. Is the hint of sweetness I taste from honey? Yes, nothing can beat Arthur's local honey. Even just a few drops will make the tea much milder on your taste buds. Relieved by the favorable reception, I pushed a plate toward him. Here, have some dried fruit in place of the sweets. They pair well as a snack, but I also recommend floating them in your tea and savoring the complex flavor. Oh, thank you. I must say you're rather sensitive to the needs of others. As someone who worked in the service industry, this is my strength. Lieber, was it? I visited a few times and it made a wonderful impression. Any praise for Lieber made my day. A smile bloomed on my face. Alest stared at me intently and an almost pained murmur slipped from his lips. This is a crime. A crime? What is? Ginia had the fortune of enjoying such delectable tea every day during your travels, didn't he? I, on the other hand, had to put up with bitter, unappetizing coffee every day as I struggled with the trail of messes he left. Oh, if only I had taken the leap and accepted the position of circus leader. Oh, then you and I could have fallen in love, or the game would have not let me date you either. Oh wait, it already didn't let me date you, so make up for it, game! You sounded like you truly regretted it, and I couldn't help but chuckle. I have to say, if you had been our leader, I would have had much less anxiety along the way. I know that tour wouldn't have found success without someone like Ginia. But sometimes I imagine what it would have been like if I had been the leader. It would have been really hard to choose between you and Zephora. Okay, to be fair, the game wouldn't have given me a choice. Because it wouldn't have let me date you, just like it didn't let me date Ginia. Again, leave the damn window open, game! Crack that window so I can imagine. Because right now, it's like, it's slowly inching. You're like, I'm pretty sure it's opening the window. I think the window's open. There's no crack there. I can't quite get my fingers underneath to pry that fucker open. But I feel like it's moving. You know? I feel like, you're giving me hints. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I started wondering, too, would Alest have changed things? Are we going to imagine Alest in Ginia's costume? During our travel between cities, for example. I shall put this out there first. In truth, I have absolutely zero ability to take care of myself. The food's something to be eaten, not made. Maybe something like that would have happened, where I got to see a new side of him. I really wish they had put him in a circus costume. Is it that strange for me to purchase a Lacrima replica? Even I fall back on superstitions at times. Furthermore, this is not for me. I've been in your care for a long time. I take this as a small token of my gratitude, please. Or we might have admired Orion's cityscape while leisurely conducting our investigation. He's giving us gifts. Like, is she imagining that he's slightly into her? I feel like she is, because that's the way I'm reading it. She doesn't realize that she might have a little inkling to be in love with him. We haven't decided who we're dating yet. We're going down Ginia's route first, but like right now, this is the common route. We're dating everybody. Though such what-ifs would never come to pass, they were still fun to think about. Alest and I chatted away as we indulged in this thrilling thought experiment. Next thing we knew, the teapot was empty. And now then, I believe you need to get back to work. I felt a little rueful that our conversation had come to an end. Meanwhile, Alest stretched and stood up. And that was a nice change of pace. Thank you, Spacey. If it's all right with you, I'd be elated if you made tea for me again. Yes, of course. Feel free to summon me every day. Perhaps not every day. I won't want Ginia's glare stalking me everywhere I go. Why would he do that? I blinked at him in bewilderment, but he only smiled at me. Right, this is he's like, oh, Ginia would be pissed if I flirted with you every day. And you're like, why? I don't get it. And he's like, yeah. Because I'd be flirting with you, and Ginia wants to be the only one flirting with you, and we've got like a little like friendly rivalry over your affections that you don't know about. It's fine if you don't understand. Leave it be. It's not often that guys get attached to anything, but... Oh, it's not often that guy gets attached to anything, but once he's this invested, he would never let go. That's all. I tilted my head in confusion at his grinning face. Then, opting not to dwell on it, I left his office with the empty teaware. So I'm gonna guess the reason why we couldn't date Ginia in the original game is not because he was in love with Alest. Listen, a girl can hope. That we're like, wait, so you guys are dating, and then, but wait, you both want me to be part of the thruple? Okay, I mean, again, are you my brother? No. Are we in a thruple? No. What the fuck, game? Give me one or the other. Give me a man harem at all times, but let me guess, we're gonna go to see Calivis. Obviously, he's the last one left. Okay. After the king announced the ceremony, I figured I should start by looking through records from the past. Having found a little downtime during work, I walked down the corridor toward the archive. A ceremony involving the entire nation, huh? In scale, it's probably going to rival the previous coronation. At least, that's what the king said. Looks like I gotta brace myself for a mountain of work in the coming days. I wonder if, because we have, like, a Calivis ending, are we gonna, like, is he gonna, like, grow up? Magically? You know what I mean? What? Wait, no, what? I don't want this. Why is this annoying? Hold on. My guide got all messed up. I don't want this. No, I don't even want to. It was like a pop-up, like, update your tablet to Windows 11. I don't want Windows 11. And it's like, now or remind me later. How about never? Just go away. Like, I don't want to remind me later. I don't want to upgrade. It's fine the way it is. I literally just use it to check guides. That's it. Anyway. Of course, I was going to work Ginia to the bone. I mean, I would love to too, girl. I don't think that's what you mean, though. I'm not too sure who's saying, oh, our beloved citizens of Eshelita. Maybe Calivis. A familiar voice seeped out from the door left ajar nearby. I was thinking maybe it was the king, but it might make more sense if it was Calivis. I stopped in my tracks, blinking in surprise. Wait, was that? Like he's trying to talk to people? He's prepping? Yeah, okay. When we stand before our people and lay our eyes upon your faces, our hearts tremble with emotion. May our feelings reach each and every one of you through this song. Begin, Arthur the Beautiful. Your Highness? Oh, we made the poor child fall over. The moment I called out to him, he sprang up and dove behind a sofa, knocking down a chair in the process. We scared the little rabbit. From there, the prince poked out his head nervously and spoke up in a quivering voice. Easy? Did you hear that? Well, Yes, sorry. I saw the door was open, and when I came to close it, I just happened to overhear. When did you start listening? From when you said, "Oh, our beloved citizens of Eshalita." Ah! The prince practically stumbled back behind the sofa. No! Wanting to coax the startled little critter out of his hiding spot, I spoke in a gentle tone. He really is a startled little critter. Oh, that's perfect. Pardon me, but may I ask what you were doing just now? I was practicing my speech. In a place like this? Yeah. Everyone seems busy, so I didn't want to get in the way. Prince Calivus had a habit of putting himself down. Perhaps he felt guilty for causing trouble during his long period of dormancy. Why did you choose a song? The Chief of Protocol. Oh, okay. There's a protocol chief. Wow. That's an interesting job title. Anyway. The Chief of Protocol said I can follow this script. It's a splendid speech with a lengthy, prestigious history, so he recommended it. Ah, I see. But... Yes? This is apparently a famous speech by a king renowned as the Opera King. Whereas I'm just not entirely sure whether it's right for me to use it. With a furrowed brow, the prince fixed his gaze on the script. Easy. What do you think? I feel like you should make up your own. Speak from your own heart. You're asking my opinion? I replied, tradition is important. What do you think? I think we should ask him. Okay, what do you... It's weird. What's your opinion? I don't know. What's your opinion? But I feel like it's more like, okay, what do you feel like in your heart? What's your heart telling you? Do you want to do your... You know what I mean? We want him to guide himself here, not give him answers. Yeah. I do think tradition matters. But some things are more important. Mind made up, I decided to be candid with my response. My prince, I believe you should be asking yourself what you think of this speech. Me? Yes, at the end of the day, what truly matters isn't tradition or having the most compelling speech structure. In my opinion, it should be how you feel as the one standing on stage. Frowning, the prince fell into a thoughtful silence. By the time he lifted his head, a fierce resolve burned in his eyes. I think I mustn't recite the script as it is. No matter how famous or moving it was, these aren't my words, someone else's. He made his declaration with conviction, and I smiled at him. I feel the same way. As one of your many citizens, I wish to hear your voice and your feelings as they are. My feelings as they are? That's tough. Prince crossed his arms and was immersed in his thoughts. Maybe you don't have to overthink it. What was on your mind during the decade your heart was frozen? What do you wish to convey to the people who've watched over you now that you've made a recovery? Weaving your honest feelings into your words will probably bring about the most joy, in my opinion. See, my honest feelings. Yeah, you're right. I'll think hard about it. The prince stood up and bowed to me. Oh, that's our boy, despite the fact that we're the same age. Thank you, Spacey. I think I'm starting to figure out what I should do. Even if, it's just the first step. I'm honored to hear that. I look forward to your speech, my prince. Right. Weird to think that all of a sudden one day this child's gonna be like, Pop, hey, look, I'm a grown-ass man. And you're like, just overnight. Just overnight. Just 7-year-old to 17-year-old. And you're like, the fuck? Anyway, we're in chapter 2 now. An official announcement was made regarding the grand ceremony to commemorate Prince Calivus' recovery. The ceremony instantly became the hottest topic in all of Arthair. Merchants planned to set up stalls to rake in the profits, while the security forces plotted out defensive measures. Countless people busied themselves with preparation for the large-scale festivities to come. Naturally, those of us working in the castle were no exception. Like everyone else, I rushed from place to place around the clock. Ooh, I'm gonna guess we go to Ginia, because... Ginia. Oh, create comment route save file 2. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, dear God. Ah! Ah! CG was earlier today, but Jesus! There it is again. Hi, sir. Okay. Oh, that's true. Because save file 1, I'm assuming, is to get... Because save file 2 is for Alest and Calivis's endings. Save file 1, I'm assuming, is to get the Ginia other ending. Oh, or maybe split and have to go to Leon because... Oh, no, well, Leon's might be different. No, Leon might be totally different, to be fair. Anyway. So, yes, Lieber, Ginia. We're probably going to go to everybody, but... Hi, what's that? You squeaked. You were like... I know. Oh, he's stretching. Let's see. Top on the list for our guest from Ferris is the mayor, then the 8 minor arena owners. Oh, Abby's name is here too. But he was a bad guy. Only the rustling of pen on paper could be heard inside the still, vacant tavern. Nearly an hour had gone by since we changed Lieber's sign to closed, and early evening had taken the place of day. Speria and Rady had gone out for other business, and I had been saddled with the role of house-sitting. Since I had time to spare, I decided to get some work done. I was currently in a staring contest with the ceremony guest list, but Abby was bad. Did we only find that out in Ion's route, and then we didn't know in the rest of it? It was like, really hard to forget that, though. Yeah, that should be good. The list is done. Even if they arrive a week before the event, the castle's guest rooms aren't enough. We'll need to ask inns for their cooperation. As I replenished my sugar reserves with sweet milk tea, my brain was hard at work. The ceremony preparations had gotten to the busiest stage, and the castle, no, the entire city, was bustling with activity. Ginia, who couldn't laze around at a time like this, had been wholeheartedly focused on work the past few days. A rather novel sight. On the other hand, now that I had fewer duties to attend to, I had a bit more free time on my hands. He'd even proposed that I take a break from my secretary work until the ceremony was over and enjoy some time off, but... Don't worry. He'd even proposed... Oh my god, seriously? I mean, I knew that wasn't where the sentence was going, but in my heart, I wanted to scream that. I know that's some, like, I know, I could see that, but still... Oh... It's gonna disappoint me. Maybe not, I don't know how this route's gonna go, but it's disappointing me right now. Aw, you're not game, I'm teasing you. I'm having a grand old time. After seeing how much he has on his plate, I couldn't possibly be the only one to take a vacation. Thus, I'd ended up helping Ginia as a secretary, even when it came to tasks for the upcoming ceremony. There was just one problem. It was so awkward. There's just one problem. Flashback to this CG in black and white. This is not a problem. This is beautiful. This is not an issue. I mean, it's an issue, but it is not at the same time. Like, look at his gorgeous face. He does not need the makeup on. He might look beautiful with it on, but dear God, he's sexy as fuck with it off, too. It's so awkward. Ginia had probably only intended to tease me a little that day. But ever since then, I felt restless whenever I laid eyes on him. I get it. I love the fact that the game is like, did you want that CG again? How about we flash back to that? You know what? Bravo! A+ use of flashbacks. I'm sorry, can we nominate this as game of just ever? Game of Infinity for the best use of fucking flashbacks in a game ever. Just ever. No, nothing. Okay, it's going to take a lot of work for another game to come along to usurp this one's title as best use of flashbacks in a game. Sure. There's probably ones that use it like, that's actually a really good use of flashbacks to like help you remember the, and like, you know, whatever. That's like legit serious. But like, still, this is better. Still, better. Because I keep flashing back to this. I've got a comfy chair. I am not going to fall over. My legs are jelly and I won't be able to walk, but I'm okay with that. This will haunt me forever and in the best way possible. I want it to haunt me. Jesus. Ugh. Recently, I made it a point to avoid being alone with him, no matter how absurd or frequent my excuses were. I had a feeling that if there was a repeat of that incident, my heart might give out for good. I mean, and the game is like, is your heart about to give out because we keep repeating this CG? And I'm like, yeah, but keep doing it. I'll die happy. It'll be okay. Aimlessly organizing the documents, I let out a gloomy sigh. No, I can't avoid him out of embarrassment forever. But just a few more days, please. Just give me time until my heart calms down, until I can talk to him like usual. The doorbell rang, chastising my escapism, and I whipped my head up with a start. The wry smile on my face, I turned around, ready to welcome Spiria and Rady back home. Well, we went to Lieber in the Ginia, so you know it was going to be him. Welcome back, you two. Would you like something hot to drink? Oh, you're the only one here today. Ginia? He was the person I wanted to both see the most and least right now. A paradoxical feeling tugged at me as I ventured a question in a shaky whisper. Why are you here? Isn't that obvious? I came to see you. Me? Yeah, I've barely had any time with you lately. You were absent from the castle again this evening, so I thought I'd find you here. Hang on. You were working here. Why not in the castle office? Furia and Rady are out today, and I'm on house-sitting duty, so I figured I might as well get stuff done. Really? It's because you have to keep an eye on the tavern, With a shrug, Ginia sat down nonchalantly beside me. Whatever you say, I suppose. And the night breeze was freezing, so can I have something sweet and cozy, too? Are you gonna... I can sweet and cozy up to you. Sure. Does milk tea sound okay? It won't take long. Oh, I won't take long, so wait right there. Stay cool. Stay cool, I told myself. I switched my mind to waitress mode and fled into the kitchen. 10 minutes flew by. In my carelessness, I made an iced milk tea instead of hot, so it took me a while to remake it. But somehow I'd regained my composure. After I returned to my seat, we enjoyed a leisurely tea session. All I'm saying is, good use of the flashback for that old CG, but we need a new one. Gonna need a new one, game. As much as I want you to constantly keep using that other one, keep doing it, but also give me new ones. One CG of Ginia is not enough, and you can't just give me one at the end. You gotta stuff them in here. So I need another one. So yeah, the first response we got was from Cultura's Sentinel. Right. You must have heard the news. A new Sentinel's taken over in Cultura, and it's none other than Zephora himself. Well, I mean, I would hope so. We already knew that Balto was a douche. Yep. The upcoming ceremony is an opportune event for a new administration to strengthen its ties with the capital and the aristocrats. Zephora never disappoints when it comes to doing things right. Looks like Cultura will be in good hands. Mm-hmm. By the way. Yeah? You've been eating an awful lot of cookies, haven't you? My replies were curt, but only because I had food in my mouth. Well, that was the impression I wanted to give off with the metric ton of cookies I've been shoving into my mouth. I stopped reluctantly. He glared at me with narrowed eyes, clearly unimpressed. I averted my gaze, mumbling out yet another excuse. Don't judge me for eating cookies, okay? Jesus. I'm just hungry. I also feel like you've been avoiding my gaze. You must be imagining things. It's so awkward when it's just the two of us. See, this would be the perfect time for a CG where he just grabs your chin and makes you stare at his beautiful face. You can picture it in your head, right? First of all, you can just imagine him doing that to you, and you're like, if you're like me, okay. I wasn't going to giggle like an idiot, and then just made me giggle like an idiot thinking about it again. But also, you can imagine what the CG would look like in your head, so you're welcome. Spiria, Rady, please hurry home. Either one of you's fine. Pretty please. To avoid further questioning, I tossed yet another cookie into my mouth. Ginia heaved a sigh, then changed tack. Those cookies look tasty. May I have one too? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Since my one hand was currently holding a cookie, I used the other to slide the plate toward him. But Ginia only sent a fleeting glance in the plate's direction before abruptly grasping my cookie-holding hand. You're going to eat a cookie right out of my hand. Oh, God, and you're not going to give me a CG of this? Because this... Okay. Oh, God, are you? Oh, God. Oh, thank you. Oh. Oh. The game is trying to kill us. The game is trying to fucking kill us. And I am okay with it. Keep trying. Game, try your hardest. You precious son of a bitch.
Don't mind if I do.
What? Oh. Okay. I love this. For a moment, I struggled to process what was happening. Against my will, my hand carried the cookie toward Ginia's mouth. See... Okay. Don't get me wrong. The first CG was still better, but this is still beautiful and ridiculous, and it's just hot, because he's just, like, grabbing your hand and making you feed him a cookie. Sir. You are really trying to kill me. The game's trying to kill us. Ginia's trying to kill us. It's working. I'm happy. This is the only way I could die. Not the only way I could die happy, but it's up there. Right now, it's number 1 on my list. Inside my foggy mind, I watched the scene play out in a daze. Oh, I see. He'll sully his hand if he picks one up himself. Oh, that's not it, girl. That's why he chose to use my hand. Wow, very sensible and resourceful of him. Yes.
Hey, when do I get to say, ah?
Oh, right. Say,
Okay,
No, wait, I didn't mean that. Without thinking, I blurted out in protest. His little face when he's got a cookie in his mouth is ridiculous. But it barely made a dent in Ginia's demeanor as he munched away in contentment.
Hi, it's delicious. Did you make these?
Yeah. There were some ingredients left over, so I thought I'd better use them.
Make some for me next time. I really like the taste of these. Yum.
I mean, sure, but that's not what I'm...
All right, one more time. Come on, say it.
He pointed at his lips with his finger, and the message was clear. I replied, I told you no! Wait a sec. I feel like wait a sec is the right one, because I told you no is very shove him off, but wait a sec seems like the I'm embarrassed, but like maybe I'll do it. Yeah, okay. Wait a sec. Isn't the person doing the feeding supposed to be the initiator? He's getting frustrated. Look at his gorgeous fucking eyelashes. He doesn't need mascara on those. Say, I crumbled in the face of his persistence and carried a cookie to his mouth. In response, I received a brilliant smile.
Did I ever tell you before that I quite like how you cave when I pressure you?
Alarm bells were ringing in my mind. At this rate, my body and heart would combust all at once because of him. Fair, 'cause true. I didn't even have it in me to wait for my savior's radiant Spiria. Feeling the burning heat in my cheeks, I scuttled away from him. Oh, right, that reminds me, I just came up with something I have to do. I just came up with something. I just remembered something I have to do and you run off. I just came up with something I have to do. Listen, if you are with someone and like, I just remembered to have something I have to do, that is them trying to get away from you. It's not, oh, I remembered something, shit. Like, that might be true, but that is usually the, I am trying to get out of here, I just quote-unquote remembered something I have to do, and you know, it's bullshit. But the fact that she's like, I just came up with something I have to do is the even more obvious, I need to get the fuck out of here right now. I love that they did it they wrote the line that way. That's even funnier.
Not remembered something you have to do.
See? They did do it on purpose. Oh, God, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh. The writing is so charming in this. And then obviously the translation, good job for like, you know, catching all the gist of everything. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's hard, but you know, they got the meaning or what was happening and they did, and you know what I mean? So it's, oh, it's good. It's good. It's all good. It doesn't matter. Point is, my gut tells me someone definitely needs me out there. So yeah, sorry, but watch over Lever in my stead for a bit.
Huh? But
I doubt Radiant Spiria will be much longer. Bye! I didn't even pause to wait for his response. I wonder if Ginia's got like, I mean, I feel like that Ginia does have feelings for us. You know what I mean? Because even Alest is like, oh, if I asked you to make me tea every day, Ginia would be pissed. Because he's like, he doesn't usually get like, you know, so. Throwing open the door, I kept on moving and practically tumbled out of the tavern. This was not good. A red-hot emotion lit a fire beneath me as I ran down the street beneath the night sky. I really might have a thing for Ginia. I've always had a thing for Ginia, so... Oh, I'm so glad we finally realized it. Chapter 3, Ginia Route. Okay, so I get it. If you didn't go to Lieber, if you went to one of the other places in Chapter 2, that kind of pushes you to whoever. Okay. Now that I thought about it, the topic of love had never been my cup of tea. It wasn't that I disliked it, it was more that I didn't understand it. Even when I listened to stories of my friends' relationships and read the romance novels they lent me, I only had a vague sense of awe and wonder if it would ever happen for me. So I get that. It felt like a foreign world to me. I never experienced a burning passion. Okay, I mean, like... But, like, no, I get that in general. You're like, yeah, no, I don't get it. Like... But that's just the, like, I don't experience attraction like a quote-unquote normal person. In that average bubble. Because I'm more on the ace spectrum. But I'm not fully ace. You know what I mean? So, like, it never occurred to me, like, in college when everyone was like, oh my god, this guy, or even growing up, like, my best friend being, oh my god, this guy's so hot, and this, and you're like, yeah, yeah, his friend's really cute, yeah, and you're like, no, I don't get it. And, like, I just didn't get it. But you're just like, yeah, because you're like, I'm supposed to get this shit, right? And you just... And then even in college, all your friends are like, oh my god, these guys are hot, let's go. Like, whatever. And you're like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna date people. Like, this guy likes me and he asked me, sure, I guess I'll date him. And then you're like, why did I do that, though? I guess I just kind of... Because you just feel like you gotta be normal. Even though, like... Because back in my day, kids, I had no idea what the fucking word... Demisexual was not anywhere near my vocabulary. Neither was anything being ace. Like, asexual, none of that was anywhere in my vocabulary. That didn't exist. It was like gay and straight. That was it. Basically, like, I mean, I mean, other subsets and things like that obviously existed, but like not anybody that I knew or anything, and you just didn't have the exposure that you have to different areas on the spectrum where you can like learn about them and go, you know what, yeah, that fits me, or oh my god, okay. I did not learn about that until way later in life when I was reading it somewhere, probably on Reddit or something, and I was like, what's demisexual? I don't know what that is. And I looked it up and I was like, oh my fucking god, and my whole life fucking clicked. And I was like, oh my god, I feel valid for once. Like, I'm not wrong. Because seriously, before that, I always just felt wrong. Like, something was wrong. Like, I'm wrong. Something's wrong with me. Like, I'm wrong. It's like, I'm not wrong or weird or broken. I just don't fit in the normal average box. I'm outside the box in another little box. Okay. So like, I identify when she's like, it's foreign and I don't understand it. It's just because, you know what? One, it hasn't happened for you yet. So like when you're young, before it happens, you're like, I don't get it. You know, I'm hyper fucking romantic, don't get me wrong. Because we play these games and I'm like, I'm over this. Yes, romance. Oh my god. My brain is a whore and the rest of me is a dead fish. Like, in reality, I'm like, no, don't touch me. I'm fine with that. I'm fine being alone and dying alone. Sure, I mean, I guess in theory, like, it'd be nice not to die alone. But like, you know, but again, fantasy and games are different than reality. Because we wouldn't handle half the trash in reality that we love in these games, right? But, yeah. And I definitely wouldn't have a man harem. Dear God. One person would be more than enough. That might be a little too much, even. Right now, it's just me. There's no people. So adding another person into this might be a little like, might be a bit much for me. I don't know. But when we're playing Atome games, I'm like, man, harem, whore am I. Yes, all of them. But anyway, I'm just saying I get what she's saying. But and again, when you're young, until your first crush or whatever, you don't really get it, and you know. And then there's Ginia. So I'm surprised you didn't fall in love with him instantaneously, but good for you for holding out till this long. I mean, seriously. She's got nerves of steel to be able to have withstood him this long. But I know better now. I understand why heroines in stories find that everything changes after they fall in love. I know why girls look so happy when they talk about romance, even if they bring up parts that don't sound so sweet. Because I feel that way too right now. Whenever my mind wandered to Ginia, my chest felt tight, and now we got the cookie scene. Again, really good use of flashbacks. Whenever I saw him, everything came to a screeching halt, even if I was in the middle of working. That's because all your brain cells just stop working, which is great. No matter how hard I tried to act normal, I couldn't. Things that had once been easy suddenly became insurmountable challenges. How did I used to talk to him? How did I manage to meet his gaze in the past? Scalding heat in my heart that I struggled to describe was probably what others called a crush. But I need to calm down. I sucked in a deep breath, trying to cool my nerves, and looked out the window. There was less than a month before the ceremony, and we were at the height of our hectic preparations. I had responsibilities as someone on the organizing team. I couldn't allow my personal feelings to get in the way when so many people were depending on me. So what if my heart raced, making me restless? So what if I struggled to concentrate? I had bigger priorities. I'll figure out my feelings after everything settles down. I need to focus on my work right now. That was what I told myself, at least. Alas, love stories would be very different if such ardent emotions were that easy to suppress, right? Yeah, it's not working. I'm distracted. I'd been so determined to devote myself to my work for the time being. But today was another full day of stealing glances at Ginia while fiddling with my pen. I'm sick of this. I'm fed up. All I've done is write Dear So-and-so and with all due respect, so on and so forth all morning. What am I doing with my life? Why do I have to write a bunch of invitations to all the old geezers around the country? What am I doing with my life is literally like, just, like, yes, that. It's just, yeah. It explains everything. Well, I mean, that is your job. I didn't even turn to face Ginia as I continued to fill out the addressees, sorry. We were trying to tackle the invitations for the esteemed guests who would be attending the ceremony. But, well, a ceremony involving the entire nation meant that our list was quite lengthy. You know, it's kind of a shame that you'd haven't invented printers and computers where you could just, like, type up a form letter and then, just adjust it. I'd been copying down names and addresses all morning, but there was still a giant stack of blank papers. Almost lunchtime. Let's keep going until then, at least. Guess you're right. Even if I whine all day, it's not like my work will just go poof. Ginia, who had been grumbling to himself, suddenly clapped his hands together as if an idea had come to him. Ah, right. Speaking of lunch, I found a gorgeous place the other day. Let's head over together. Sorry, I packed a lunchbox today. Aww. What about well, I kind of have to help out at Lieber tonight. Look at his little pout. I love his little pout. Because it's like, it's this little goofy scowly pout, but then his eyes are like, kind of fucking mad. Ginia pouted like a sulking child after I cut him off. I deliberately looked away from him, but I saw his eyes narrow in displeasure regardless. Exactly. Hey! Don't you think stuff like that has cropped up a little too frequently lately? You think so? It's just a coincidence. I'm with you during the day, after all. Correction. During work. And when work's done, you slip away like someone's chasing you. You almost never come to my place anymore. I asked you to do some shopping for me yesterday, but you left my things at the door and went straight home. I love his little temper tantrums. That's Well, I thought you might be taking a shower.
Mm-hmm. Says the one who used to just come in and wait. You know, I can't recall having a private conversation with you lately. Like, at all.
And you know what's sad for Ginia? We're avoiding him because we're in love with him and we want to avoid these feelings. But if you think about it, right? When we were at circus, like we said, we always talked about some feminine things and girly things and things that the other guys wouldn't talk about. And Ginny is just a little more open and like blah, blah, blah. And we had this buddy palliness and we keep him in line. And we're like, oh my God, he's crazy. But like, he's a good friend and like whatever. And now we're avoiding him because we're in love with him. And in Ginny's mind, even if he wasn't into us, which I think he already is, it's like, yeah, I used to have this friend and we used to hang around and like talk about shit. And now they're avoiding me. And that's got to hurt his feelings. And I don't think she realizes that avoiding him is hurting his feelings. You know what I mean? Like, she hasn't stopped and gone, oh my God, I didn't realize that by avoiding him, I was hurting him, you know? Because she's just like in the, oh my God, I have to avoid him because otherwise I'll know I'm in love with him and I need to stop this. Because you're in this panic state. So you're not thinking rationally. Aw. She's going to have that realization and then we're going to make out. It'll be fine. I looked away, but in the corner of my eye, I saw him rise from his chair. For some reason, his next words, "Hey, Stacy," were breathed right into my ear. Oh my God, are we getting another CG?
You've been avoiding me, haven't you?
The pen I gripped in an attempt to look busy was wrested away from me. Oh dear God. Oh. Sir, you could get that close to me. How can you avoid falling in love? Oh, Jesus. Can you hear this music? Just the, like, bum, bum. And it is like, that's literally like how your heart feels right now. It's just like, it's gonna leap out of your it is pounding out of your fucking chest. Like the beat, the deep beat in the music is like, yes, that's like my chest, my heart. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Holy shit. Sir. God. Okay. Listen. Ugh. I know it's gonna be a little short round, I mean, but so far, but they've been doing, listen. I know earlier I was like, we need another CG, and then they handed it to us, and then they gave us this one, and it's like, you know what? You're blessing us by letting us date Ginia. I love it. I'm gonna die. It's so fucking perfect. It's everything. Like, I'm gonna cry. Because I'm overjoyed and hormonal, sure. But also, I'm overjoyed. And, like, I just want to cry and weep with joy. And the CGs are so pretty, and you're giving us so many. We've been given a gift. This was worth the wait. This was worth everything. This is the best thing ever. Anyway. Ginia leaned closer and spoke in a low voice.
Even someone like me will feel hurt if you keep acting like this. My cute secretary won't even meet my eye. I'm miserable.
The sweet floral scent of a feminine perfume surrounded me, soft and pleasant. The firm arm that wound around my shoulders and blocked my escape was anything but soft. The feelings that I pushed down in my attempt to focus on work suddenly threatened to spill out. I'm not. I wasn't avoiding you.
I'm not falling for that. You've clearly been acting strange lately. Even during work, you sigh quietly, hoping I won't hear you. Something's bothering you, isn't it?
No, don't leave. Come back, CG. The source of all my woes nodded to himself, then smugly pointed at his own face.
Try telling me. Your wonderful Ginia can help you solve anything, whether it be trouble with money or questions about love.
Oh, you don't realize that we're in love with you. Oh. Then maybe you're not Oh, this is making me confused now. Oh no. This hurts me a little. Like, I feel questions about love, talk to me! I'm your friend! Like, you're worried about something and you're like, yes, I am in love with someone. And then like, oh goody, let me help you! And then it's like, But you seemed a little jealous that Alest was going to try it, like, if he spent time with me, but then... I'm very confused! Oh! A little angsty. I feel a little angsty, and we've only just read one sentence.
Come on! Hiding it won't do you any good. Is it that hard to confide in me? Oh my! Do you have a crush on someone, mayhaps?
His voice was teasing, and it wasn't clear whether or not he'd seen through me. Therefore I said, no! I feel like we should say yeah. Oh. Oh. Not really save 3, but it's Ginia's save 1. I still think the answer is yeah. Yeah.
Don't you worry. My lips are zipped. I can keep a secret.
You know, it's getting on my nerves. My every waking moment was spent thinking about him. But he wasn't even slightly considerate of my feelings. He just led me around by the nose as he pleased, and I was mad at him. More than that, however, I was mad at myself. I'd hardened my resolve to focus on work. Look at me now. Just being close to him made my heart flutter. He noticed I'd gone silent. His eyes widened as if he'd realized he'd messed up. He searched for the right words, composure cracking. Because we're like... And you want... His eyes widened as if he'd realized he messed up. Do you think he realizes right now there's a moment when he's like, you have a crush on someone, come on, and he's like, oh, you're not just, it's not, hey, you're kind of not paying attention, you're not focused, oh, you've got a crush, it's like you, all of a sudden it clicked, like, oh, you're avoiding me, oh, yeah, okay.
Sorry, I went too far, even if I was just teasing.
My answer is yes. It's exactly as you thought, Ginia. Ginia's mouth hung half open and a noise I'd never heard before came from his throat. Oh, so like... Okay, I thought we didn't say yeah yet. We were like, we just kept it, and then he's like, oh, never mind, I was just teasing you. And we're like, I do have a crush on someone. But I still wonder if in his mind he's put the pieces together and realized, you know? He couldn't comprehend what he just heard. It was written all over his face. I fixed my gaze on him. In a steady voice, I declared, I have a crush on someone. Whenever I think of him, a gentle warmth fills my chest. Whenever I see him, whenever I talk with him, my heart beats erratically and my mind goes blank. I think it's why I've had trouble concentrating at work lately. I glanced at Ginia, trying to read his expression. It was complex, with many different emotions flitting across his face. Oh my god, we are so fucking far over. I totally forgot that we were in the middle. I was going to end before, and I was like, oh, we'll make this one last scene, and then here we are, 10 minutes later. I've been so invested in this, I forgot. We'll finish this up, and then... Hey, what do you think, Ginia? Is this really...
Yes, it's love!
How wonderful! Before I could finish, Ginia smacked his fist against his palm in realization.
You looked as if romance was the last thing on your mind, yet here you are admitting you're in love. I'm actually a bit moved.
I think he might be an idiot and not realize it's him. Okay. Huh? Yeah.
So spill. Who's the lucky guy? Is it a guest at Lieber, or did you fall in love at first sight with someone you met on the street? Oh, but how could I rule out our favorite circus members? That'd make sense. They're trouble, but they're good-looking trouble.
Well, I guess he counts as a circus member. Yeah.
My, that makes your road of love even bumpier. Everyone's scattered to the four winds now, so you can't talk to them often. And not to mention that you're swamped with work. Let's negotiate with Allie to lessen your workload so you have time for your crush.
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess. He spoke in such rapid-fire succession that was the only thing I managed to get in edgewise. My gaze remained fixed to the floor as I nodded, then stood. Anyway, it'll be lunch soon, so let's take a break. I'm gonna go make a light snack for us. And, oh my heart! Oh my god! He's like, oh my god! And he's all excited, and you're like, Oh, you don't have any fucking clue it's you, you idiot. Oh. Oh, we need this angst, though. That means they're giving us, it's not just all fluff where we're like, I'm in love with you. And he's like, good, I'm in love with you. And then it's over. We're getting like, you got to have a little bit of angst. So we don't have a lot of plot. You know what I mean? Like we do in the normal game. It's all just fluff. But we still get the angst in this new route, which is what we need. So, oh, they've given us a gift. But, anyways, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.